Live. All right, we are live. I don't know if there's anybody watching. I can't see. Um,
We have one. Well, that could be me. Never mind. Because I'm watching. That could be me.
yeah, well, we are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm watching for it to show up on YouTube on my laptop.
Yeah, it's not quite gone yet. I'm still just looking at your pretty face. There we go. Now we're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going.
Yeah.
Ah.
All right. So I guess it's not showing up, but that's okay. Anybody watching? I guess let's get started. So yeah, today's Sunday live stream. We're gonna be talking about some serious subjects.
Well, we have somebody. I don't know who yet. Who's peeping?
Who's peeping?
Say hi.
We don't want no peekers.
Oh yeah, we can have people peeking,
Peeping.
snooping.
Snooping.
Yeah.
Just tell us hi, and then you can go back to peeping.
Yeah.
Tell us what you're working on.
Yeah. So I am working on. I'm doing the last little bit of my cosmic consciousness. For anybody that's watching, whether they're watching the live stream or watching the replay,
Here.
There's myself, Mara Nightingale, and my crazy train wreck sister Jill from
Hi.
Diamond Painting with the Edwards family, and then we've got a special guest, Carrie, who's also a diamond painter, and then Wolfie is my daughter. Oh, hey, hi, we've got 4 people watching. Hello.
Yay.
Yay.
Oh, hey, hi, Clint. How's it going, Clint? So Crafting with Love is Clint. Sorry about the coughing. That's my daughter. She's got a cold. I managed to talk her into joining us. We are going to be talking about some serious subjects. We might have a few laughs as well, because it's kind of hard for Jill and I to stay serious all the time.
And especially I have a cold now, so I'm talking like a frog. So yeah.
That's okay. My throat will be going pretty soon too.
Yeah. So now I remember, Carrie, you were talking about some serious stuff that happened to you when you were younger.
Yep.
Yeah, and I know Brooke, Wolfie, she has gone through some stuff in her past. She's also going through some relationship issues at the moment.
I'm sorry.
I'm not going through relationship issues at the moment. Yay! I was for several years. I was in a toxic relationship for several years with her father.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty messed up.
Be his ass. That's what's gonna happen. I mean, what? I didn't say anything.
What? What was that? Yeah. By the way, she has my sense of humor.
I said nothing of the sort.
Say what? What?
Say that again. I didn't hear that.
So, Carrie, what are you working on?
I'm working on a Pokemon Diamond.
Oh, yes.
6. I got 6 pictures of different characters.
All right, on.
They're 25 by 35. You get 6 of them for $42.
Oh, right. That's cool.
on
Oh,
Amazon.
Amelia loves Ariel. Just popping in to show support. I'm not a peeper, I promise. Okay, we'll take you at your word.
That's all right. If
So-
you're a keeper.
I've got,
Someone get the
Hello,
investigation
Ariel.
hat.
I have 3 of them going at the same time.
So my daughter Wolfie there, she does not do diamond painting.
No, I do
does
video games.
she does video games. She also does artwork. She is a hell of an artist.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I've talked about her artwork in a few of my videos. Yeah, when she was younger, I've always encouraged her with her artwork. She used to pester me to draw things for her, and well, I suck at drawing.
There's
And
one in particular I remember, and it was a
See, I
fucking
also
rat.
this one to do too.
You drew a rat for me, and I was like, "It looks so good." That
until
was
you
when
got
we were living
lucky.
in the attic suite.
Oh,
Now,
upstairs with Grandma Sasha?
package.
In fact, I
That
still
was
remember that. It's amazing.
upstairs with Grandma Sessa.
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss that old lady.
Yeah, I missed the cookies she gave me.
Yep, I've got all
Yeah,
with me right now.
she used to. Oh, hi, Laurel. Hello.
Hi, Laurel.
So,
You're ordering a lot.
Oh.
so I am working on the last bit of my cosmic consciousness. I am not that thrilled with this canvas. It is just the whole thing is confetti, and
Confetti, it's a parade. Love Supernatural.
confetti. Yeah, confetti basically means it's a lot of colors, constantly having to change colors.
Yep, that's what I gotta do most of the time.
Color blocking is when you have like sections of the same color. I'm describing it for my daughter because she's, like I said, not a diamond painter, so teaching her a little bit of our ways.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
also teaching myself how to draw fucking dinosaurs right now because I want to get into modding.
Yeah, sorry, she has a little bit of a potty mouth.
That's
Sorry.
That's okay.
Well, since she mentioned dinosaurs, and I got to keep this serious, so I won't say anything. But, Wolfie, you'll have to come to my live later if you're not busy, because I'll tell you the story about a dinosaur.
The T-Rex that's on the homepage of DP with the Edwards family.
I'll have to tell you a story about that dinosaur later. So you'll really get Aunt Jill's personality. I'm behaved today.
Yeah.
I'm the voice of reason. It's scary. I'm the voice of reason
Just
today.
Just for now.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be talking about serious stuff,
Yeah.
but
So I'm the voice of
Yeah.
But just you wait till later. Hi, Dari.
Dari, hello, Dari, hello. Welcome. So my StreamYard's not not StreamYard. My YouTube is not wanting to find my live stream on my laptop. So
Oh.
yeah, so I'm not able. Yeah, it sucks.
I said to behave and pull it up. Darn it. Dagnamit. My grandpa used to say that. Dagnamit.
So, anyways, well, this is supposed to be a serious live stream, but I don't know. We're not really talking about very much in the way of serious stuff. If anybody wants to start with something that they want to talk about. Okay, I guess I'll start.
Go ahead. I'm
My
just
my I actually had somebody contact me early this morning. Somebody that I hadn't spoken to in a long time. Now those of you who have heard some of my videos, I've talked briefly about being in foster care,
oh,
in a foster home, and it was on a farm. Like it was massive. It was on a farm. Well, one of my older foster sisters reached out to me. She messaged me and she's like, "Is this Mara? Oh my God, I've been thinking about you a lot and trying to find you for several years." It's like, oh well, hello, sister. Yeah, yes, hi. Yeah,
that is
and yeah, she's was asking how things were going, and she's been with the same guy for 18 years.
wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. She my daughter Wolfie actually went to school with her kids, with her daughter and her two sons. Well, her daughter is about Wolfie's age. Um, Haley, Haley, Kylie. I can't remember her name now.
I
But anyway,
recognize those names.
um, yeah. But anyways, yeah. So she and I we messaged for a little bit, and what's funny is her and another foster sister of mine. Um, they're both like about a couple of years older than me, so they're around the same age as Wolfie's father, and the three of them were actually in elementary school together, and the two girls they used to pick on him in elementary school, and he was not allowed to defend himself.
Oh.
Yeah, he was because he was raised by a military sniper. He
Oh.
was not, yeah, he was taught at a very young age how to defend himself and how to do lots of bad things.
Yeah.
Like he could seriously mess a person up, and because of the training that he received at a young age, he was not allowed to defend himself. Because if
Mhm.
he got into a fight, there was a risk of him seriously hurting the other
Yes.
person. So he was not allowed to. So it made him an easy target for other kids for
Right.
just that reason. But he was always very big for his age, and very, very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was like I think 10 years old, and he could toss hay bales like they were a basketball. And you know how heavy a hay bale is. Those things.
100
Yeah,
pounds.
yeah, he could toss those things like a basketball at 10 years of age. Needless to say, he was not allowed to play with the neighborhood kids
Nope.
because
Yeah.
their parents were afraid that he'd hurt them. He'd get too rough, get carried away, and hurt them. But yeah, he went through some really bad stuff when he was growing up, as his mom was crazy, and yeah, his dad was older and was in the military, and yeah. But so yeah, Wolfie didn't have it easy when she was growing up. He was afraid to be in her life when she was little because he was worried because he had a bad reputation in my hometown. So
Uh,
he stayed away.
yeah.
But yeah, he and I we reconnected like 10 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And back in 2015.
Yeah, in
Because that's when I
2015.
graduated.
Yep. And he was actually there for her graduation ceremony. He did come to her grad ceremony.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
Yeah.
So she did actually get to have a relationship of sorts with her father,
Uh-huh.
but he's been hurt so many times in the past that he lashes out and
Mhm.
hurts other people before they have a chance of really hurting him emotionally. And he did that with her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He
Like I
said
would
some
spend
things
a
that,
couple days to a week playing nothing but video games with him and chatting with him. And then when I want to do stuff of my own choice and to just do my own thing, like decompress, he gets
Angry?
upset. He
Oh.
gets upset that I don't want to play video games with him anymore. And it's like, I would like to do my own thing sometimes too, you know.
Right.
But
Understandable.
It
he would
happens.
get extremely jealous over my online friends.
I tried to teach my dad to do that before he goes, I'm too old.
well, like he would, like he played,
Yeah.
the two of them would play GTA online together
Yeah.
because he wanted to help her make millions to be able to buy whatever she wanted, buy these places to be able to do missions and all of this stuff, do the same kind of stuff that he does when he's on there making millions and millions of dollars. And she'd go and like, yeah, she'd make some money and then she'd spend it all on other stuff, and her and her friends would get together and they'd kill each other, and well, he's not into that in the games.
Yeah.
And like his way of playing the game was not the same as the way she would play the game, and he would get upset and yeah, a little jealous because he'd ask her, well, do you want to play GTA with me? And she's like, well, I'm not really in the mood. And then like 20 minutes later, she's playing the game but with her friends. And so
Mm,
yeah, he'd be upset because she's playing it but not with him.
yeah.
Yeah. But it's like her life does not revolve around him. She has her own life.
I've been living my own life without a father for years.
Your whole life. He was never in the picture when you were growing up.
Yeah.
And he had a really 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 bad reputation in my hometown. It's not his hometown. He did live there for a number of years, but
It's also my hometown. I don't
yes,
live there
your
anymore.
hometown. No, but your aunt does. My sister does.
Which I'm surprised she still does. The last time I heard, she wanted to leave, but never
Yeah, but
did.
where's she gonna go? Well, she's got a business of her own now. She
That's
actually has her
surprising.
housekeeping business of all things.
Oh.
This is someone who hated and despised housekeeping.
Yeah, she would rather work at the Chinese restaurants, but she's been fired from all of them multiple times.
Really, because I heard she always quit.
I thought she got
'Cause-
fired because she was constantly sick.
No, she would quit.
Oh.
Yeah, she would quit. She was like, there were people that would go to the restaurants, these particular Chinese restaurants, where she was working, only when she was working because she was their favorite waitress.
Yep, got some bars like that here too. But now the bars are all did change names or they changed them.
Yeah. But yeah, my sister, she is older than me by a couple of years. So she's, oh my goodness. So I'm 47, so she's turning 49.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in March.
So, yeah, so she's just a month older than me. Because I'll be 49 in April.
Or no, she's turning 50. That's right. She was
Oh,
born
is
in
she?
75.
Oh, so she's
So she's a year and a month older
she's
than you.
Tom's
Yeah.
age.
Oh, hey. Wolfie,
Mm,
do you know what day it is today?
I do.
it's her birthday.
It's whose birthday?
My sister's.
When was the last time you talked to her?
It's been years.
Oh,
Same here. Yeah, same here.
well, hopefully you both can reconnect with your brother and your sister, Wolfie. Maybe there'll be a time.
They don't have
Yeah.
social media. They're not allowed social media.
Well, there'll come
Because-
a time. If it's 10 years from now, there'll come a time where they'll come. They'll want to know.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is what happened was, and here's a trigger. This is a major trigger. My younger daughter was
Her dad
actually,
did
she
really
was-
bad things.
yeah, he did some
Really
bad things.
Bad things
with-
when she was 4.
Yeah, with her. No, the cops believe it was when she was younger, based on videos that he recorded.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there was no physical trauma. Oh, hello, Lola. Hi, Lola. Sorry, today is a trigger. This is a trigger warning video live stream. Just for warning, we are talking about some bad stuff.
Yeah, today's serious.
Dari. I'm sorry, Dari. I just noticed. Do you think Canada will become a state here in the USA? Absolutely not. No. I've actually heard rumors.
The
I've
U.S.
heard rumors that 3 states actually want to join together and become another province of Canada. One of those states being New York.
And by the way, if Trump does something to us, you U.S. people are going to have no hydro.
I don't
Yeah,
think anything will happen. You know why? Because it's got to go through so many people. It's got to go through like the House and the Senate, and they're not going to pass that. That's one thing about America is because we have branches it's got to go through, and
Yeah.
then of course it would go to like the judicial too. So
No,
they won't.
and Florida's going at it.
Yeah, see, I don't
happen.
really pay that much attention to that kind of news.
I don't either.
I watch whatever Shizzy Wiznut is talking about weekday mornings.
I get Ford comes on my channel.
Yeah, I don't watch the news unless it's whatever, like the YouTubers that I watch are talking about it.
I just don't like people who do like scare tactics and stuff. No, we've got a system where it's got to go through so many places, and yeah, it's not. I don't believe in scare things. I just like whatever.
But
Because I know how our government is set up.
$25 more.
So I'm just like, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah.
But I can't travel, so
Yeah.
I'm in a group home, so
Oh, are you?
I wish I was in a group home once for young
Same
pregnant
here.
girls. Mine was for young pregnant girls.
people.
Was it? I've always well, since this is a serious, topic, I am
Yep.
very curious about why you had to go to a group home for pregnant.
A group home for young pregnant girls?
Yeah, why did you have to go there? Because of your dad, or
No, it was to make sure. Honestly, I'm not too sure why, but I finished my grade 12 while I was there.
Okay.
They also helped with counsel. There was counseling, depending on how many girls were staying there, determined on whether it was one-on-one or group counseling. For a while, there was group counseling because just about every room was full. And then for a while, there was just one-on-one counseling because I was the only girl there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for like 2 or 3 weeks, I was the only girl there.
Okay.
Yeah, I celebrated my 19th birthday while I was there. I graduated from high school, saw a doctor, and got a weekly allowance.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it was. I actually really liked being there.
Yeah.
It no longer exists as a group home
Okay.
because they lost their funding. Yeah. So
Oh.
it's a seniors home now.
Oh.
In a city like 2.5 hours from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also the same city where I had my son by emergency cesarean. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was fun nights. I don't even remember.
Yeah. You were what, 11 or 12 when he was born?
Yeah, somewhere around that.
Well, I know you were 9 when I had your sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, when when I had her sister, when I had my other daughter, she her shoulder got stuck during birth
Mm.
and it damaged the nerves for her shoulder and elbow.
Ooh.
And then we found out when she was 3 months old, we found out that she had what's called
A
Erb's
bum-shaped
palsy.
uvula.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, the bifid uvula. Yes. So what was wrong with her shoulder and elbow was called Erb's palsy,
Palsy. Yeah.
and then her the little teardrop shaped thingy at the back of your throat, your uvula.
Yeah.
Hers was not teardrop shaped. It actually looked like a set of bum cheeks. It had has a divot in the middle.
Oh.
Yeah. So she was not gaining weight properly for the first 3 weeks.
She was using a lot of energy to just be able to drink, and
Yeah.
she would end up just throwing it up all over the place because she
Yeah.
couldn't keep it down.
Whoa, that's sad.
Because she was swallowing air as well. And an air pocket would just, bring it all up. And so for the first year of her life, like I was taking her back and forth to Vancouver Children's Hospital
Yeah.
to see specialists for, actually, I was seeing specialists for her arm. But her first appointment with the plastic surgeon about her arm was when we actually discovered her bifid uvula.
Oh.
Yeah. And had the ministry on my breathing down my neck the whole time. Well, the whole time that I had children, they were breathing down my neck and going behind my back,
Mm.
talking to my dad about me and my file and my children and how I was taking care of them and all that stuff. Right from pretty much from day one with Wolfie there. Yeah.
Didn't help that I had my umbilical cord wrapped around my neck.
Twice at birth.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I had it wrapped around my neck.
I was an Amazon baby. I came out 10 pounds. I crawled out. The nurse said, "Honey, I can't get this baby to take a pacifier. I feel sorry for you because she's hungry." And the nurse said, go buy this girl some White Castles, which are just little hamburgers here.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, they
That's
said,
here too.
yeah, for me to go, for them to go get me a 12-pack of White Castle because I was always hungry. Yeah,
Well,
crawled-
I really wanted to be able to nurse all three of my kids.
yeah,
We found out with my son, my third child, we learned that there were absolutely no nutrients in my breast milk.
yeah.
None at all. And as soon as I found that out, because with my son, I was straight breastfeeding him.
Right.
And as soon as we discovered this issue, I left, like, I had taken him up to the hospital to see the health nurse for a checkup. And it's like, oh, this is, I'm pretty sure this is what's going on because he's not gaining weight. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to go, instead of going straight home, I'm going to go straight to the pharmacy and buy some formula and bottles. And I did. And then I took him home and I started him on the bottle.
Yeah.
And then a week later, the health nurse showed up on my doorstep. Oh, I just came by to check and see how things are going. Did you get formula? Yeah, I said I was gonna, and I did. And here's the bottles. And she brought the scale and she weighed him. She's like, wow, look at all the weight that he's gained. Well, yeah.
He's getting food. When Philip was born, he had to be fed through his nose because he was on a ventilator. So they put a tube down his nose. And I had to pump with no baby. So I pumped, and all they did was give me a picture. So I did that, and then my internal and external stitches got infected, and they had to give me a pretty strong antibiotic, and I dried it. But I was able to pump some fluid. It wasn't even, my milk really didn't even come in, but I was able to give him a little bit of fluid.
Well, with Wolfie, I was so new at being a mom. I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
And I was very, very shy. I was very body shy. I was living at home for the first 3 months of her life, living at home with her, and I was only comfortable with breastfeeding her in front of my stepmom.
Yeah.
And then, but the rest of the time I would bottle feed her to the point where she just preferred the bottle. She didn't want the boob anymore. Yeah. So, and then her sister, well, because of her bifidubula, she had to have a special bottle, like a special nipple on the bottle. It had to be like the super soft, fast flow nipple. So she didn't basically she put the nipple in her mouth and it just poured, pretty much poured down her throat.
Philip had to learn to suck and swallow because he didn't know how to suck and swallow when he was a baby. So what they did is they put a pacifier underneath the hoop of the ventilator, and so it had to stay in his mouth, and that's how he learned.
Yeah.
Philip was a pretty sick kid, but he grew out of it. Now you can't even tell.
Yeah. So Wolfie, Jill's son Philip, is 27.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah.
My age.
Yep.
Goddamn.
But she was a little bit older than me when she had him.
Yeah, I was 21 when I had him.
Yeah, I was 19. And 19, you're a legal adult here in British Columbia.
Yeah.
19 years, you have to be 19 before you can before you are allowed to go into the bar and drink. It's 18 in Alberta. but 19 here in BC.
It's 19 in Scarborough.
It's 21 here.
Yeah, everywhere in the States, as far as I know.
Yep, we're 21.
It's always been like that in the States.
Yep.
I know that because of my dad. Him and some of his, a couple of his buddies, they went hitchhiking across the States once.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And
That's dedication. I live here and I don't even want to do that. That's dedication.
this is back in the 60s, like early
Oh,
60s.
It was a different time then. Okay. We're
Yeah.
talking
He
60s.
was well, he was born in 1948. So this was like in the early 60s. He was 21,
Uh-huh.
and I can't remember how many of the others were 21. I think there was 3 of them. There was like 3 or 4 of them, and one was actually underage. He was only 20.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
yeah, you're fine. Here, as long as you're 18, you're fine. Legal. I mean, you can't drink, but you can buy a car. Go figure. No, you're not allowed to drink, but you can sign your life away to the military and you can buy stuff and get a credit card. But you can't drink. It's wild.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. Well, at one point, when I was 18 and pregnant, the legal age for buying cigarettes was 16.
Yeah.
21.
And then, and then 2 weeks before my 19th birthday, they changed the age to 19.
Oh.
Yeah, which sucked because I was the only one at the group home that was old enough to buy cigarettes for everybody there that smoked. Yeah.
My goodness, when we were young, we could buy cigarettes for people. We could just say, "Oh, this is for my grandpa," or "This is for my aunt," and they'd let us do it.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to do that for my dad. He'd send me to the store to buy him a pack of cigarettes, and sometimes he would even send me with a note. And sometimes the note did not have, like, sometimes the note had the date on it, and sometimes it didn't. The times that it didn't, and they didn't ask me for a note from my dad, because they knew me, they knew my dad, I would hold on to the note. So, because at one point, yeah, I was smoking underage. I was a bad girl. I smoked underage for a while in high school. It's not all I did in high school, of course, but yeah, that's how I got my cigarettes.
Oh, I'm allergic to cigarettes, so I was a good girl.
Good for you. I'm allergic to alcohol, so I don't drink this stuff anymore.
Oh,
I never
Yeah,
liked
and
the
there's-
smell of it and the taste of it.
there's-
Just
There's also a good reason why you're not drinking anymore, and I'm glad of it.
yeah. First time I tried to unalive myself was with alcohol.
really?
Yeah.
Did you just drink a whole bunch, or?
Oh yeah. I was sitting in the back seat of my car. And okay, so what happened was I had forgotten to take my antidepressants for a couple of days.
Oh,
And I was ghosted by my boyfriend at the time. And I was really, really upset and whatnot. And I ended up hanging out with a friend of mine and his girlfriend. And he had a whole bunch of beer in a duffel bag. And I drove us out to a friend's place on the outskirts of town.
mm-hmm.
And we ended up smoking a little bit of the devil's lettuce with him. And then my friend, he hopped in behind the wheel of the car. I sat in the back seat, and his girlfriend was sat in the front seat. So I'm sitting in the back seat with this duffel bag full of booze.
Oh,
Yeah. So for every one that the two of them shared, I had 1 to 2 of my own.
Okay.
and we ended up going up the bush roads because there's bush roads on the outskirts of our hometown for logging and stuff.
Yep. I
Because
see.
BC is known for its firewood, for its trees. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yep.
Yeah.
Watch that show.
and he's a logger, so he knows the bush roads. So, anyways, I'm sitting in the back seat. All of a sudden, the next thing I know, he went around this one corner a little bit too fast and kind of got the car stuck in the little bit of a ditch on the side of the road.
Hmm.
And I ended up wedged in the back. I ended up wedged in between the back seat and the front seat, the driver's seat, and I got violently ill. And it projected between the driver's seat and the driver's side door.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm catching up, but just heard you all say hi. Okay. Yeah, it was pretty bad. And my friend, he could not get the car unstuck. It was stuck. There was no moving it without help. And I'm like not doing good at all in the back seat. And he gets out, he decides to build a fire. Because
That's
this
right.
was also kind of in the winter time too.
Oh,
And his
okay.
girlfriend, she starts panicking because of what I'm doing in the back seat. I'm pretty much doing the funky chicken in the back seat. And she's like, she calls 911, even though her boyfriend's like, no, she'll be fine. It's a good thing she did. Cops
Oh,
showed up, paramedics showed up. It took them a good 45 minutes just to find us.
oh my goodness.
Yeah. But they checked my blood sugar level, my blood alcohol level, I mean. And they said it was a good thing that I had been getting sick, because if
Yeah.
I hadn't, I would have been a goner. Because they were surprised that I was even conscious, let alone be able to hold a conversation because of
Wow.
how bad it was. Yep. So
Tisk tisk.
yes, I was pretty bad. I did some pretty dumb things. But yeah, they took me to the hospital. My friend called up actually, I believe he called his brother up and had his brother come out with the truck, with their dad's truck, and pull the car out and got it back to our friend's place on the outskirts of town there. Because my friend couldn't drive it into town because didn't have a driver's license.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was no way that he was going to get caught driving without a driver's license up a bush road. So,
Right.
but yeah, he just left it there. And the next day, I called my boyfriend's dad, and his boyfriend, and so he came and picked me up from the hospital and drove me out to my friend's place to pick up my car. Yeah.
Thank goodness you wasn't driving.
Oh yeah. But I told the cop I was the one that was driving.
Oh.
Yeah. And that when I put it in the ditch, they helped get me into the back seat. Because because neither of them had a driver's license.
Oh.
If one of them had been driving, they would have been in a lot of trouble.
Well, what did you get? Because you should have. I mean,
Nothing.
did you get in trouble for drinking and driving?
Nope.
Wow.
I know.
You should have. That's wild.
You want to hear something else that's crazy? I never got I got pulled over for once I had this little Ford Ranger pickup truck.
Yeah.
And it was close to the end of the night. The insurance was just about to run out on my truck. And I was hanging out with a friend, and I had been over at his place. We had been drinking. Um, we had been drinking and smoking some of the devil's lettuce, and he wanted to go get some other stuff. So we hopped into my truck, and we were going to stop at the bank so he could get some money out, and then we were going to go and pick up this stuff. Well, I get pulled over by a cop, cute female cop, and she ended up having me blow the breathalyzer, and it came back as a warning.
Oh, okay.
So did it again, and it came back as a warning again. And she's like, "Well, okay, can't let you keep driving for the night." Okay, well, my truck is parked legally, so it won't get impounded. I was parked at a pharmacy, so I just called the pharmacy in the morning and explained the situation of my truck being parked there.
Oh, okay.
And I it took me a while to find a friend that could drive a Standard that was willing to and able to drive it back to my place. But my friend that was with me, we had to wait until Monday for the insurance place to open so he could pay for a moving permit for my truck to be able to move it.
Yeah.
But yeah, she didn't give me a ticket, but she did take my license away.
Oh, okay. How long was it gone?
3 days.
Oh, okay.
But so they have a points system.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a ticket, but I did get points on my license. And to be able to renew your license, or even renew insurance, or even to insure a vehicle, you got to pay off fees. You got to pay fees to pay off the to clear the points on your license.
Okay.
It took me 3 years to pay off those points.
Oh.
Yeah, I managed to get my license back, but it took me 3 years to pay off the points. Yeah.
Well, goodness sakes, young lady.
Yeah, I've done some. Yeah, I've done some.
You did
Yeah,
some.
pretty stupid.
You did all my stuff that I should have done. It was all sent to you instead of me because I didn't. I behaved. I knew better because, like, and I've told this story before that so much family and family friends were on the street that my parents would know before I even got halfway down the street when something happened. And they would all come out and be like, "Jill, what did you do?" And they would all kind of like fuss at me. So then by the time I got home, I would have already gotten fussed at by 8 or 9 people. And then I got, well, when your father comes home. So I already knew. There's no point in doing anything because I was going to get it all the way home and then get it when I got home. Then if my grandparents found out, then I'd get it. It's like, no, it's not worth it.
Yeah. See, me, I didn't think of the consequences. Oh, Lola, who's from Scarborough, Ontario? You're from the southernmost part of Ontario. Carrie's from Scarborough.
Yep, I'm from Scarborough.
Whereabouts in Ontario are you from, Lola? Because I lived in Fort Erie, Ontario for a few months. When I left my ex-husband, I packed up all 3 kids, loaded a U-Haul trailer, and went to Ontario.
And I was the only kid that ended up staying.
What part in Scarborough are you?
Lola says she's from the southernmost part of Ontario.
I'm down by the lake.
Cool. I was in Fort Erie for a few months.
I'm near Lake Ontario. That means I'm at Markham Road and Kingston Road.
Cool.
In Scarborough. And 3 years. Yeah, it's been 3 years We had ice storms here. For last year, we had no ice.
When I drove down to Ontario, when I was in Ontario driving to Niagara Falls, I was driving on the outs. I was on the outskirts. I was traveling on the outskirts of a hurricane.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah, we were on the
And I
outskirts
was
of a hurricane.
And I was saying shotgun.
Yeah,
Yeah, they said Scarborough was going to get them, but it goes all the way up to Barrie and Barrie up way up north. So we don't see them.
I know someone who lives in Barrie. I dated two of his brothers.
Wow. Okay. Boom chicka wah wah. There you go.
One was my high school sweetheart,
Aw.
and the other one is a narcissistic, egotistical, self-centered.
Hypocritical bitch.
Um,
We might as well finish it. If you want to
Polygamous horn dog.
Yeah. You ever
I'm
seen?
south of Windsor. I'm on the other side of you. I'm way east.
South of Windsor.
Yeah.
I'm from Indiana.
Montreal.
Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana.
I'm from Indiana. Indiana. I'm in
Whenever I hear
Indianapolis.
Indiana, that's what I think of is that song, Gary, Indiana.
Yeah. I'm from Indianapolis. I'm
Yeah.
about 2 miles from a very noisy racetrack. The Indianapolis 500.
Yeah. Do you watch the races?
IndyCar, we listen to it because IndyCar, they block it for our local stations until after the race. So we
Yeah.
listen to it on the radio and then we can hear it. We can hear it. We can listen to the radio and yeah.
Right on. Yeah, there's I don't know if it's still there, but when we were living in Fort Erie, Ontario, there was a racetrack there. Or it was a horse race track.
We only have one now.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's,
Oh, yeah.
and you have to take a train to get to it. Woodbine. And it goes all the way up to Field Street. It's in the you could gamble 8-horse race.
Mm.
Because we lost the one that Woodbine there, down by Danforth.
Yeah. The only reason that we ended up moving back to BC from Ontario was because of my kids, my two younger kids. Their father ended up getting custody of them while we were in Ontario, because he went and got himself a lawyer to get custody of the two of them. He didn't bother trying to get custody of Wolfie there because he knew she'd rather be with me anyways.
That, and I'm not his child.
That too, yes.
So he wouldn't have been able to gain custody of me.
True. There is that possibility. But
I was your child with
yes.
my strange dad. Yeah.
With your
And-
estranged father.
Yep.
And what your father did was nothing compared to what he did to his daughter, to your sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And with the way that the ministry handled my case, Like if I had known a few years ago just how bad, like if I had gone to a lawyer a few years ago with my case, like with everything that happened with my case with the ministry, I could have sued them and made millions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I found that out last year from my dad because my social worker actually told my dad that a few years ago. He's like, "Yeah, I'm surprised she didn't try to sue us because of how badly we screwed up on her case." But honestly, well, it would have been a hell of a battle, that's for damn sure. But those two they are in a better place.
Yeah.
They've got two loving parents both with good, well-paying, stable jobs. They've got a grandfather there. The other grandfather passed away. My uncle passed away. Well, yeah, my uncle was their adoptive grandfather.
Oh wow.
But they do have a grandfather there, who's actually a member of the Hells Angels. He's a higher up, like he's got a very high position in the Hells Angels on Vancouver Island.
Yeah.
But he's legally not allowed to associate with any members. So, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I have a cousin who lives
But
up.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just know that because of that connection, my kids are safe, and nobody's gonna mess with them because you don't mess with the family members of the Hells Angels.
No.
You don't mess with children, period. Children are, they'll protect a child. Anyone's child. I do know that about our Hells Angels. They do a lot of charities when it comes to children here.
They used
That may be true there, but not all Hells Angels are like that. Unfortunately, Wolfie's father, he was friends with some members of the Hells Angels in Calgary, Alberta.
Yeah.
They were trying to recruit him. They had a house that they wanted him to monitor this house and make sure nothing bad happened. I bet. Oh, I'm just reading. Horse racing there, Lola. Yeah, fun to watch. Sometimes quieter than the cars. Well, yeah, because there's not the revving of motors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would love to see horse racing. But yeah, they wanted him to keep an eye on this one house that they owned, make sure nothing bad happened. And when he realized what was actually going on in that house, he walked away. He just no,
Okay.
because it was
Not appropriate things?
yes,
Okay.
with young people.
Oh.
Yes.
Hard pass. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, he stopped associating with them, and if he could have done something and gotten away with it, he would have. But anyways, yeah, he yeah. Mm. Speaking of horse racing, I gotta tell you this story. The reason that I moved to Ontario with my kids, I met a guy online from Ontario. I kid you not, he's 4'9".
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And he
Is he
loves
adopted?
wrestling shows.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
was he
he's obsessed with WWE.
hang on. It's medicine time.
It's
I gotta
10
go get
a.m. medicine time.
It's medicine time. I gotta go get some medicine. I'll still be in the room.
Just popping pills.
Oh, I gotta go across the room to go get them. It's nothing fun, just the fibromyalgia pills.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, my sister's got fibromyalgia. A friend of mine thought I might have fibromyalgia because she's got fibromyalgia, and I was always complaining about aches and pains, and she's like, "Well, it sounds like you might have fibromyalgia. You should go. You should talk to your doctor about it." So I went and I saw him and told him, and he's like, "Yeah, there's no definitive test, but I can do this test." And he starts poking me here and poking me there, and it's like, "Well, no, you don't have fibromyalgia, but you do have super sensitive skin."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
I have
"Huh, well, that
sensitive skin.
explains a lot."
Yeah, I have sensitive skin. All right, I'll be right back because I gotta go get me a drink.
She has to leave the room.
She's supposed to be monitoring everything and being the moderator and
She's
keeping
like,
an eye on chat. And
we pick on her now.
yeah, because she's on the other side of the room.
Yep.
I can just imagine her shaking her head while smiling.
Yep.
And we don't have any more tea. Tom. Tom.
There's always tea. There's always tea. Where's the
Where is the tea gone?
Some tea for me, please.
But where's the tea?
I have to have my tea.
Yeah.
I need some tea. And there's no tea made.
Oh no.
I know, the horror. The horror. I can't even say it right. The horror.
You've been bitching all day, Tom. You better get up and make yourself.
Oh my god. This
Oh,
is
there's-
supposed to be a serious stream.
Terry is
Always time for
getting
tea.
on to
Yeah,
you.
there's always
most
time for
serious
tea, but
is
it
very
has to actually be made. Yeah, it's supposed to be a serious stream. That's why it's got the ticker that says trigger warning, very sensitive subjects in today's live stream.
Yeah.
It just seems it's a little bit more like Saturday's chaos
Yeah.
with a little sprinkling of sensitive stuff.
Yes. Well, that might be good though, so it won't be like a complete downer. There's some up moments in between.
Yeah. So even when we are talking about stuff that could trigger people, it's very brief and
Lighthearted. That sounds weird. Lighthearted?
When I was born in 1966, I was born dead.
oh, stillborn.
Yep.
How long did it take for them to revive you?
Don't know.
You don't know? They never told you?
My parents never got around to tell me before they both died.
Oh,
My mom died when I was 29, going on 30. My dad died when I was 35.
Wow.
oh. Yeah, my mom, she passed away a month before my 10th birthday.
I had to learn how to cook on my own.
My dad taught me how to cook. I still suck at it.
I
But
saw
at least I'm the only one suffering from my cooking.
I burned it.
Mm.
I had a cousin, when he was 16 years old, he went to his mom and said, "I'm hungry. Can you make me some mac and cheese, and she's like, "You're 16. Make it yourself." He opened up. So he started boiling a pot of water, and then he opened up the box of mac and cheese. He poured the macaroni in. Opened up the packet of cheese and poured that in.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He didn't realize you're not supposed to put the package stuff
He
in.
didn't read the instructions. He didn't read the directions because he had never done it before. He
Mm,
didn't know what he was doing.
wow.
16 years old and didn't even know how to make mac and cheese.
Oh my goodness.
That's why you have the kids sit with you while they're growing up, so they can watch.
And help you cook. Is
You
that
can tell them the
Tom?
story. This is the
Is
series.
that Tom? Is Tom out?
You can tell the story. Tom has a story to tell you about cooking.
Uh-oh.
You have to talk a little louder, though, Tom.
Get closer to the microphone.
Yep, you're up.
Quiet.
This is a very noisy live stream. With all the coughing and sniffling and barking.
Yeah, it's just that.
I have a neighbor who has 2 poodles and a cat, and she just slams her door.
How
That's
rude.
how my neighbors are in the park.
Come on. Tell them the story.
Rude.
You can tell a story about me, Tom. Come on. About the green beans?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell the story.
Do I really want to know?
Once upon a time, Tom and I were getting married, and a person, I won't say who, but a person told me I didn't know how to make green beans.
Really?
And so I said, oh, okay. So
This has come from the same person that doesn't know how to cook her damn self.
yeah, and she don't know how to cook very well. And so we did it this person's way. And mind you, this person is really close to me, okay? Genetically.
Yeah.
So we did it that way. Come to find out, the crock pot didn't heat it. And I said, well, we need to put it in a stock pot because it was for a lot of people. So the way I originally was going to do it was the right way, but she told me I didn't know what I was doing. And I've cooked for years for big groups of people, and no one has ever complained until that very moment. So I don't know how to cook green beans, go figure. Even though I've cooked green beans all my life, and my brother like devours them and says, oh, they're like candy, which is like a joke. My grandma used to always say, oh, those green beans are so good. They're just like candy. And every time my brother's like, oh, those green beans are so good. And we start laughing, and then he realizes what he said, and then we start laughing because I was told my green beans weren't good enough. So when I literally say nothing was good enough, nothing was ever good enough.
Yeah.
But I always made sure I learned and I did it the right way.
Yeah.
Just so I knew, well, they didn't know what they were talking about. I know how to do it. So yeah.
Yeah.
I proved it that I could.
Then I got old enough, around 4. My dad was upstairs laying down, and my mom went to work. My grandmother was doing my laundry.
Yeah.
And I saw the postman. I ran after him. Thought it was my dad. Around the time the car hit me.
Oh.
Oh, there was one time when Wolfie was little. We were living in an apartment building, and one of my foster sisters was living in another part of the same apartment building. It was an apartment building complex that consisted of 4 actual separate buildings. There was building A, which was what we lived in. which was at the back. Then there was building B at the front, and then there were two smaller buildings in opposite corners. So it was like in a square, and then there was the square in the inside, in between the four. The two little buildings consisted each of three apartments that were both 2-story apartments. And my foster sister, she lived with her 2 kids in one of the small buildings in one of the 2-story apartments. And Wolfie and I, we lived in in building A on the 2nd floor. And my foster sister was having a birthday party for one of her kids. And so we went over to her place for the birthday party. And my foster sister, her boyfriend, he suddenly got called to work, to go to work. And he was this other mom's ride. And so she had to go and pick up her other son from home because he was at home with his dad.
No.
And so I went along because then I could drive her back to the party. And so I left Wolfie there with the other kids. And when I left, she was upstairs in one of the bedrooms upstairs with a couple of the other kids. Apparently she went looking for me, and she went past 3 moms, including my foster sister. She went outside looking for me, and she ended up wandering down the street.
Ooh.
This was actually the second time she had wandered off from my foster sister's apartment. The first time was my foster sister. She hired a babysitter to watch Wolfie and her 2 kids at her apartment, and she took me bar hopping. She's like, "You need a night off from being a mom," and she took me bar hopping.
Oh.
Yeah, and so Wolfie, she fell asleep on the couch. And the babysitter was supposed to stay for the night, and apparently didn't.
Oh no.
Yeah, we actually. Yeah, we were kind of naughty. A couple of guys came back with us.
Oh.
Yeah, one joined her in her room, and the other guy came back to my place with me. Yep. And apparently right after I left, like, we got back to her place, and right after the one guy and I left, the babysitter left.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently the babysitter was supposed to stay to be there when the kids got up in the morning, but she left and went home, and Wolfie was asleep on the couch, and she apparently woke up and she went looking for me and ended up wandering down the street in the wee hours of the morning, wearing just a nightgown and a diaper, because she was pretty little.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. And thankfully there was this gentleman that was up early and saw her wandering down the street, and he because of how she was dressed and how close to the highway the house was, he assumed that that what happened was a family was traveling through town. They stopped at a gas station, and she was asleep in the back, like their camper or whatever. And when they stopped at the gas station. She got out. She got out, and they didn't notice and left without her. So yeah, that's what this guy assumed. So he ended up calling the police, and so the police contacted social services. And social services, they picked her up. Like, the police picked her up, and then like the social workers picked her up from the police station and took her to a foster home.
Oh wow.
Until they could figure out who she was and what was going on. Yeah. And when in the morning, I went down to my foster sister's to pick Wolfie up, and she was still in bed. My foster sister was still in bed, and her two kids were in the living room watching TV. And I'm like, well, where's Wolfie? And they're like, we thought she was with you. Because, yeah, when they got up, she was not there.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So I didn't know what to think. Yeah, I was totally clueless as to what to do. I went back to my place, and I can't remember who I called. I think I called social services. Yeah. But anyways, it took all day for, yeah, it was a weekend, and it took me all day to get a social worker to actually find her.
Oh.
Because all of the local social workers were gone, like not even in town. Like the head office in Vancouver or Victoria, whichever, I don't know where it is. They were trying to track down a social worker in town, and they couldn't find a social worker. But it took them all day to finally track down what happened to my child and as to where she was, and found out that it was a foster home down at the other end of town, past the airport. Yeah. And it turned out that the foster home that she was at, the woman used to be my dad's physical therapist.
Oh.
Yeah. So she knew my dad. It was dark when my dad and I went out there to pick her up. But then the second time she took off during the birthday party, it was the same man that picked her up, called the police. The police contacted social services, and it was, and social services, they're like, they picked her up. They called my parents' place. Yeah.
Oh.
I called when I found out, like, when me and the other mom got back to the birthday party, and I found out that Wolfie was gone.
Again.
I called the police.
Wow.
And yeah, I called the police. I think I called the police. Well, whoever I called, I'm pretty sure I called the police, because they didn't even bother contacting social services until, like, because they called my parents, and my brother and my stepmom went down and picked her up from the police station. But of course, it is they are legally required to contact social services, which they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then my parents ended up with temporary custody of her, and I had to go to court in order to get her back.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, it was a struggle. Yeah.
I caused problems for my mom.
The ministry, it's like they were trying to screw my life over every chance they got. They were constantly going behind my back and talking to my dad, and it was very, very stressful. Yeah. So yeah, I've got a lot of anxiety from that.
Right.
You're welcome.
It wasn't your fault. It was just the adults who were supposed to be supervising you were not supervising you like they were supposed to. They were supervising all the
And
other kids.
somehow they still have their kids.
Yeah.
Doesn't help that I managed to get past them without them noticing more than once.
Well, they probably noticed at the birthday party. They probably noticed you go outside, but there were other kids outside, and I guess they assumed that you went outside to play with the other kids, but you didn't. You ended up wandering down the street looking for me.
Yep.
Hmm.
Because I didn't want to be around some kids. I wanted to be around my mom.
Yeah, you always wanted to know where I was. You always wanted to be close to me.
Because you were my safe place.
Yep.
Like, with how timid and shy I was, I didn't want to be around anyone except you. In strange new environments.
Well, you knew my foster sister and kids. We lived the first place that we lived. We lived kitty corner to them. Okay, you were a baby, so yeah, you wouldn't have remembered that.
Yeah, my toddler self is going to be like, I don't know these people. Why am I here?
Yeah, but you liked
Where's mom?
when you were really little. We hung out with them a lot, and you liked hanging out, playing with them.
As long as I was able to
You
see
liked
where
playing
you
with their
were.
kids. Yeah, yeah.
So what
Yes,
part?
Wolfie and I, we were always very like thick as thieves, the two of us.
Yep. She used to have this cloak that I would hide under whenever she's wearing it, so I can hide from people.
Aw. Hi, Lorna. Sorry, that came out horrible. Hi, Lorna. I have a cold. Sorry.
Lorna?
Yeah,
Lorna!
I am still
hello,
gonna do my
love
live at 2. I didn't even announce that on Facebook. Oh well, people will find me. They know where I'm at.
Yep.
People will find me because I didn't post on the group chat or the main page. Oops. Oh well.
I haven't had time to.
I haven't either. Everybody's gonna hop on and go, oh my gosh. Like, yep, gotta talk until I can't talk no more, then I'm done. I
Okay,
swallowed a frog.
I've got a question. Okay, finished my Aquarius. I finished the Aquarius. I fitted this one up. I haven't released the video yet, but I will later. I'm gonna ask my friend if there's any possibility that I could keep it
Oh.
for my girl, for my Wolfie girl. It's called Dreamcatcher Wolf.
Aw.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet.
It has an AB, one AB, and one special drill.
Oh,
Yeah.
fancy.
So I'm wondering, what do you guys think? Should I continue with Cousin Bob? Should I start on this one, or should I start my Cookie Monster?
You might want to finish the one. How long do you have left until he's finished? How many rows for Bob?
Cousin Bob? How many rows?
How many rows are left? I mean, how long do you think it would take for you to finish, Bob? Is it a lot?
Let's see. 1, 2, well, 3 rows.
Okay.
You could be finished today.
Oh no, I can't have this. I can't finish this today. No.
Maybe
I
by
may be fast,
Tuesday.
but I'm not that fast. Even with all of the color blocking, I may be fast, but I'm not that fast.
Maybe Tuesday you'd have it done.
Yeah. Tuesday.
Give yourself until Tuesday, and then if Tuesday's not done, then roll it up and put it away.
Oh,
Just
I'll
kind of
probably have it done by
through.
Tuesday.
Huh?
I'll probably have it done by Tuesday.
Yeah. Just kind of give yourself, 2 more really good days of push. And then if it's not done, then put it away and do it later.
Yeah. All right, I'll continue with Cousin Bob. So,
That way
Wolfie,
you
the
got
reason
it
it's
done.
called. Okay, so I got to explain the reason why we call it Cousin Bob
Yeah.
is okay, Stephen King, the writer Stephen King, he came out with a movie called he came out with a movie called about a car named Christine. A killer car named Christine. This diamond painting, it's a pickup truck that we call Cousin Bob because he's Christine's cousin Bob.
Yeah.
And there's a really, really pretty, really, really pretty house. Looks are deceiving.
Yeah. It does. Bob doesn't like the Christmas decorations. He's sick of it. So he's going to
There,
murder.
there are Christmas presents in the back of Cousin Bob. They are very pretty wrapped Christmas presents.
We're going to
There's
go to the river.
there's wrapped up appendages in them.
Yeah. They're going to go to the river. He's going to dump them in the river. Well, you
Yeah.
might want to explain why we have to have such a scary. You might want to explain that to her, why it's got to be spooky and scary.
Okay, so we have a YouTube friend named Mushmellow.
Yes.
The name of her YouTube channel is Dark and Creepy Diamond Painting. And last month, for the month of December, she was hosting an event. It was the Die-cember event called Ho Ho Horrific. So it had to be a scary themed Christmassy diamond painting.
Yes.
So Jill helped me come up with a backstory for this one.
Yes.
I couldn't order a diamond painting online. I buy locally, so I got this in the town next door. That's the town that I refer to. The town I refer to as the town next door is the town that I was living in with Pat 10 years ago. Yeah.
And I had one, and it was a gnome holding 2 cardinals. So I called mine Gary the Ghastly Gnome with Chuck the Cannibalistic Cardinal.
Yep. And this month, Mushy is co-hosting an event with Kristen from Crafty-ish Kristen, and it's called the Pink and Black event.
It started on the 3rd.
Huh?
It started on the 3rd.
Yep. It's all this month. And now Jill and I are both doing these 2 diamond paintings. One is a biker chick.
Yep.
This is what I call her the biker chick. And then there's also the bat.
Yes. I'm doing those 2 plus 3 more. Because I'm an overachiever and I'm crazy like that.
She is. So she actually ordered these for me from Temu. But because of the way Temu is for Canadians, she had to order. You need a minimum certain amount of money.
Yeah.
Before it's free shipping.
Yeah, 35.
So she also got me this pen and this tray.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I have to spend over $38 every month from Temu. And it takes. Yeah, it won't be here till the 13th.
Okay.
I have new pens to try out.
Yeah. I love pens. I'm addicted to pens.
So far I got nice, these ones, one from Temu, and the other two came from Amazon.
You're hearing all of my things to say, oh, set this up. Get ready for this. Do your OBS. I have to be reminded of everything because dementia brain is real.
My excuse is I was dropped on my head as a baby.
Yeah.
And then multiple blows to the head over the years afterwards.
Yeah.
One of said multiple head injuries was from a cow.
Oh, yeah. 40 plus years of fibromyalgia is what's causing mine. I've had
Did you say
fibromyalgia
40 plus? Did you say 40 plus? Because I thought you were 21.
I was I was 2 when they found. I was 21 when I got when Philip was born. I was 27 with my hysterectomy, but they think that I've had fibromyalgia since I was 2.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So it'll soon be
Wow.
46 years. Yeah, I've had it a very long time, the doctor said. He looked back in my medical history because 40-some years ago, they didn't know what it was. He got my records and looked back at everything. He goes, yeah, you had it then. Yeah, okay.
Huh.
Around 2, I lost a lot of weight. Started having leg cramps and backaches, and I was sick a lot, and they couldn't figure out why. Well, oh, Philip. Oh, Tom's got my tea.
Aw.
Just when I needed it, my hero.
Thank you.
Yay! Yay! Tom did a goodie. Tom did a goodie.
Goodie.
That's a sticker for Tom.
They're praising you, Tom.
Yay! Tom did a goodie.
He's in there stirring something. I can hear it. Here, clank, 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 clank. Yeah. I don't know how long my live is going to be. We'll have to see.
All depends on how long it takes for you to get that section done.
That
Or
and
get
how
a section done.
stand to talk. You know, the whole talking thing too, unless I have Tom talk for a while.
Nope.
No,
Yeah.
you're not going to help me talk?
Yeah, I'm already about to the point about ready to go to the bathroom and throw up.
Oh, you're going to throw up? Oh, shoot.
Just remember I told you earlier, I'm up a little bit. It feels like I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, well, go on. Go to the bathroom. Don't throw up in here. He's not feeling good at all. He feels like nauseous.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah, so.
I hate when that happens.
I did that before Christmas.
Yeah. Before Christmas, I had shingles, and I had a brown Christmas because I was on the toilet so much.
That was me.
I had a brown Christmas this year. It's not been a good. It wasn't good between shingles.
I had to have a pill at the front end, and I also had to stay on the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this was a bad Christmas for a lot of people.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Did you cook my lunch? You forgot. That's okay. I'm not that hungry. I can wait until after.
Well, let's see. Lorna is still recovering from C19,
Yeah.
and then you had shingles and the
Yeah.
brown Christmas.
Yeah.
Sam found a friend of hers no
Yeah.
longer with us.
And then I fell.
There's a YouTuber. Yeah, you fell. Yeah, my friend in Colorado. as well. She
Yeah.
fell on a bed, and she also recently fell at the bowling alley.
Oh no.
Yeah, they went to the bowling alley for her husband's birthday, and she fell down. Her
Oh.
legs gave out. Yeah, and then there's a YouTuber that I sort of kind of knew. He
Uh-huh.
passed away. Yeah, he had a massive heart attack.
Yeah. Hi, Lorna. Yeah, it's just been, and then here I'm like, oh, 2025 is going to be great. And then now I've got a cold. It's like, really? But see, I think it's because I had the hernia surgery and it kind of got everything all stirred up.
All
And now I'm
wonky.
just sick because I have a very low immune system anyway. I'm just sick. And it's just going to take a while before I'm sick.
Yeah,
But
one of the benefits of living alone is the less risk of catching somebody else's cold.
yeah,
That doesn't work out that way. You still get sick.
I avoid people as much as I can.
That's what I do. I tried, but my worker keeps telling me, "Oh, I need to do this and that and that." I got, the C word is out there. I go, it's still bad.
mm-hmm.
I
It's
go, do you really want us to go catch stuff?
the C word is bad around here too. It just keeps going in circles.
Yep. We already had a breakout in September here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm trying to get better. That way I could go get my other booster shot. But every time I try, I get sick again.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And see, like my parents, they get the booster shots
Yeah, I
regularly.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not me. I've never gotten the shot. Never gotten the shot.
Yeah.
Never gotten sick either.
Well, they like kept telling me that I needed to get it because I have a lot of immune uh, illness. I have diabetes and fibromyalgia and IBS and rheumatoid arthritis, and that's all immune and it compromises. So I was told that, yeah, I kind of need all the shots. So pneumonia was gotten, not a doctor, folks. Pneumonia was gotten, flu was gotten, all the COVIDs was gotten because they told me that if I were to catch anything with the COVID lung, I would end up in the hospital with a vent and no hard pass. I'll take the shot.
I have to have the shots too, hon. Because my immune system, I can't. Mine's bad.
It's like a choice, a shot or a tube.
Yeah.
I'll take the shot, please. But I understand why, some people don't want to do it, and I'm perfectly fine. That's everybody's life, and they have a choice. But me personally, I have to have the shot, and then I stay quarantined regardless.
Yeah.
I just talk on Facebook. The
Yeah,
computer.
it's really interesting. It's really interesting that out of all the people, I think I mentioned this in yesterday's live stream, that out of all the people at the house that I was living in with my ex, with Wolfie's father there, um, like he spent 99% of his time in the bedroom,
Yeah.
isolated from everybody else. The only time he ever came out of the bedroom was to get coffee, get something to eat, and to go to the bathroom. Never left the house for months. Like it was next to impossible for me to get him to leave the house. And people were coming and going all the time, day and night. I was living I was living like in the living room and then in the dining room, and he was the one that caught C19.
Wow.
He caught it. He was only sick for like 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was it. He just felt a little under the weather for a couple of days, and then he lost his sense of taste.
Yeah. I lost mine. Well, I can taste some things sweet.
Okay, I'll be back. I'm gonna make myself a hot chocolate.
I can taste sweet, and I can taste salty. But if it's not really sweet or salty, it's like, okay, all right.
For me, I have bad hips. It takes me a minute to get going.
Oh, bad hips. Yeah, I got bad hips. Thanks for that, Wolfie. Thanks for that,
You're
Wolfie,
welcome.
for the bad hips.
I got a bad
Actually,
hip.
I should be blaming your father for that. It's his fault that I got pregnant in the first place.
Hey, if you never gotten pregnant, you would have
Then
never had me.
you wouldn't exist. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm still gonna blame him anyway.
I had scoliosis, and I had one hip out of place, so one leg grew longer than the other. Well, I
Ooh.
caught it when I was like 15, 16, right in the middle of a growth spurt. So they put a little leather thing in my shoe, and it balanced it out. So I was walking perfectly. Everything was great until I had Philip, and it went out of place again. So I waddle like a penguin.
I just waddle naturally like a penguin.
Yeah, but I have one leg longer than the other, and I waddle like a penguin. Oh, I just seen the time. I got a skedat.
Oh yeah, it's like almost 1:45.
Yeah, I got to set up everything. So I got to go quickly. So yeah,
Then
Yeah.
I'll see you over there
all right. See you later, alligators.
in a while, crocodile.
Bye.
Bye.
So, is there anything else the two of you might want to talk about?
Who?
You or Wolfie?
I'm just making myself a hot chocolate. When I'll be back, I could tell you another story.
Okay. And we've got about 15 minutes.
Okay. I'm just getting the water out of the coffee maker.
Okay.
Kettle. I do it.
All right. So Wolfie, how are things going for you right now?
I was drawing for a little bit, but
Yeah.
I can't draw for too long. Otherwise, my wrist starts to hurt.
Arthritis. Yeah.
Yep. From too much drawing during school.
Oh, that's not what Papa would say. Oh, it's from cracking your knuckles all the time.
Even though cracking the joints doesn't actually do that. It's been scientifically proven.
Well,
Well,
it
unless it's like
yeah.
unless it's over excessive cracking, it doesn't really cause anything.
Well, I know I have to, like, it's to the point where I have to crack my neck or else I'll start to get a headache
Yeah.
from sitting here bent over like over my canvas.
For me, when I went to high school, I was 14.
Yeah.
And back in those 1980s to 1990s, they didn't have bullies. They had bullies back then. Now they don't have it now for handicapped people. Now.
Yeah.
But back then, I was picked on all the time and beat
Oh
up.
yeah, no, there are still bullies, but they're school system. Well, yeah, certain schools will actually do something about bullies.
Yeah.
Others don't.
No,
Others just ignore
in high
the other way.
school, the one I went to, they send the kids home now, and they will
Yeah,
have the parents to come in with them, and they sit down with them now. I heard that at the reunion we had.
yep,
Half of the people I knew, they're all passed away.
yeah. I've never been to a high school reunion. I wanted to go to the last one. I wanted Wolfie's father to go with me, but of course, there was no way he was going to go.
Yeah. Now the one I went to was 75 years.
Yeah, I think the last one was 20 years for me.
And I saw two teachers, but the other teachers all passed away.
Was actually I was working for a Christian school for a couple of years, and Wolfie was a student there, and the vice principal used to be my high school science teacher. So yeah, he knew me a bit. It was interesting working working with him rather than being his student.
And so when my dad was working at the post office, I went to work with him every day.
Yeah,
I got to sit home.
I just remembered that principal. Oh my god. There
Mr.
was a
Scott.
day. Yeah, there was a day that it was like recess or lunch period
Yeah.
in the Christian school, and he was like playing a game with some students, and he ended up ripping his pants,
Oh no.
and he had to wear a sweater, a student's sweater, because he didn't have anything with him. So he had to borrow a student's sweater and wear it around his waist for the rest of the day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I
he's
think
also-
he lived on the opposite side of town, so it would have taken a
Yeah.
while to get to
Some clothes.
for him to be able to get home and come back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, there was one day that I was in the library and he pops his head in at the beginning of lunch, and he's like, "Yeah, I wasn't really paying enough attention, looking out to go home for lunch, and I kind of hit your van. You might want to come outside and have a look." Yeah, he backed his big truck up and
Hit your
took
car.
out my he smashed the tail light on the left side, on the driver's side of my van.
Yeah.
Yep. So I there were two places in town that I could get to. Well, that I took it to. I took it to one place to find out how much it would cost for them to do it. And they're like, "Oh, it'll cost us $2,000 because we're gonna have to replace the whole bumper." And okay. And then I went to the other place. They're like, $1,000 bumper off. We'll bang it back into shape, rechrome it, and put it back on, and good to go for $1,000. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I told Mr. Scott was his name. I told him, and at first he was gonna like get his insurance to cover it because he gets like one freebie. with his insurance. And then when I told him the price, he's like, oh yeah, I'll just pay for it myself. It's only $1,000. Oh, okay, yeah, you can afford it. Sure, go right ahead.
Yeah, but don't forget, they don't get winter when they get winter break. They don't get paid for that week, so they needed extra money.
Well, when he was the vice principal of the Christian school, he had already retired from being a high school teacher, a high school science teacher. And I remember when I had him for a science teacher, and we would do a test. If I finished my test before everybody else, I'd sit there and I'd write stories on the back of my test, and they were a little on the
Naughty side.
disturbing side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I would also write a disclaimer. I would write a disclaimer. This is all purely fictional. It's not. None of it's real. None of it's true. And one day I forgot to write that disclaimer, and he pulled me aside later the next day, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a little concerned about what you wrote on the back." I'm like, "Oh, well, yeah, it's just all made up." Oh, okay. None of it's real. It's all fake, all made up. Just a story.
Yeah. So I had fun every time I got sent home. I loved to work with my dad at the post office. I would bring home $600 in one day. Because you know how routes are. You know the post office route.
Yeah.
Okay? So my dad's got one area, somebody else has the other area, and somebody else and somebody else. So they go, "Hey Cliff, are you finished with your daughter yet? I could use her." You would bring home more money than one day. My dad goes, "No more coming home. You need to stay in school." How can I when I'm getting picked on? So
Yeah, back then they didn't know how to deal with bullies back then.
So my dad goes, "That's it. I'm gonna have one dad work with my dad's friend Wayne. He had a Square Boy pizza shop, and I had a the lady was making a some self defense store, like workout for people to get. It's for people who got raped and stuff like that to defend themselves.
Yeah.
So they had that. My dad goes talking to her. She goes, "I can't get Carrie to stay out of getting into trouble. She won't fight back. She got sent home so many times." She goes, "Cliff, let me get this open up. I will teach her. I paid for the whole thing myself.
Yeah.
I turned around and I hit a black girl in the nose because she was bullying me."
Good for you. And I bet you got in trouble for it.
Nope. I never got sent home. She did.
Oh, even better.
And she lost her job. You know those ones what hangs out the doors and say, "Oh, you have lunch. Oh, you gotta go to class. You have to carry the pink slips." So they were guarding the door. So I was going to my reading. She was going for reading. You were pushing her? No wonder you got punched in the nose. I want your sweater. You're not a door monitor anymore. Carrie, you're the door monitor now. If she pushes you, you push back. So the teacher made me go to my reading class, and so the principal called down, goes, "Is Carrie okay?" I go, "Carrie's fine. she was pushing her. That's why Terry punched her in the nose. So she got suspended for 3 days.
Hmm.
So I got to stay for 3 days in school.
I got picked on a little bit in elementary school. But I don't really remember much.
I had one best friend. We went to school. When I was 7, she was 8.
Yeah.
We went to school together. We were best friends.
Yeah.
And then we lost contact with each other. And we used to go to, when you came down to, where the CN Tower is.
The CN Tower.
Yeah. It has the ferry boats and stuff.
Yeah, I think so.
I used to go, we went there together
Yeah.
for picnics and have lunch together. And then when we lost contact, we found each other in high school.
Yeah.
And then we found each other on Facebook back in 2015 or 14. I can't remember. Maybe 15. Because I had blood clots. I hit my head and I found out I had 10 arteries were blocked. So
Oh, wow.
I was in the hospital for almost a year.
Oh, wow.
So everything takes time for me to
Crazy.
sit down. If I get one
Yeah.
done, I get tired very easily. And then I can move on to the next one. And I don't finish them.
Yeah. Well, we got to wrap this up
Yeah.
because it's almost 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, it's 1 o'clock here.
I have to switch cases.
Yeah. See, we're at different time zones. I wish we could all be on the same time. This is
Same time zone?
yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of having this and that and that. You say goodbye, Lil? You gonna say goodbye?
Yeah, we're going to have to say goodbye.
Yeah.
Say goodbye to everybody. Bye.
Everybody.
See you in the next
Bye.
one. Bye.
Bye. Nice talking to you.
Yeah.